My favorite thing was meeting new people and just getting their experiences and just kind of hanging out with all of my friends and learning new stuff, new things, and just growing as people.
I think one of the most interesting things I learned is how the political climate in Iowa in particular, but also nationwide, is changing in terms of LGBT rights and marriage and things like that. In terms of, one of the sessions I went to talked about the conservative media, and they showed a graph about public support for some of the strongest voices in the conservative media, and it is completely reversed, and the public, they don't have a favorable reaction to them as much as they used to. It's really, really gone down. And it makes me happy because I feel like my impression of the people who speak out against the LGBT community, they speak with so much anger and so much hatred. They don't seem to be motivated by any genuine concern for humanity, but they just seem angry and hateful. And that message is starting to fail. And people are getting tired of the negativity. And I think that one of the most interesting and promising things I learned was that the popularity and the enthusiasm behind that negativity is really going down. And I think that's going to hurt them. They're going to have to change their tune. And I think that makes me really happy.
I think the most interesting thing was the prince and just kind of learning about his experiences as a gay royal, because that's not really something that I'd ever thought about. And it was really cool just learning where he was coming from and all of that stuff.
I thought the second keynote speaker, the prince from India, was fantastic. An incredibly charming and amazingly intelligent and articulate and influential and so motivated. But I guess I was so impressed with how comfortable he was in his own skin and his position, and how he's obviously really in a good place in his life, and whether people support him or not, he is not turning back. And I just thought that was amazing and impressive. And I think that he really reached kids. I think kids were inspired by him. He almost made it seem like, of course I'm going to work hard towards change. What else would I do? It didn't even seem to be an option. I thought that was really, he's not afraid at all. I thought that was really cool.
I went to 2 sessions about transgendered issues, and they were really cool because I don't really know that much about that stuff. And then I went to a session about the Pink Locker Room at Iowa, and I thought that was very good. And then I went to a session about just gays and culture and stuff like that, and that was pretty cool too. I thought the whole experience was very good. It was really worth it, and I wish that I was in high school next year so that I could go to the next one. Well, this one was definitely bigger than the other ones that I've been to, and they had it at a bigger venue so that they could accompany everybody. And so that was pretty cool, because it just kind of, the change in venue especially gave us an idea about how much it was growing and how much bigger the conference was getting.
Well, it was bigger. They had to move it to a new location this year because it has gotten so large, and it's still overcrowded. Sometimes it's hard to choose sessions. Sometimes there's so much to choose from. And this year, I think, was no different, that I felt like I really had to give up things and go to others. And I think the cool thing about this one is, and every conference, is that it shows how the evolution. It's just the sessions there are so different from the sessions from 7 years ago. Now there's so much more of a focus on transgender individuals, and that's really interesting, because that is an area that I feel like I need to be more informed. I think we all do. And it kind of it makes us realize not to get complacent and think that we've made a lot of accomplishments, when you realize how much, as soon as you make certain progresses, that opens more doors. Now we need to do new things, And so I look at all the topics, it makes me realize how many issues are still relevant and how many new issues have become relevant. And so I think that was one thing I probably learned.